Hello and welcome everyone to the Lifetime Patient Retention webinar. I'm Dr. Tabor Smith and I'm super excited about this one. Obviously, this is a huge, big passion of mine. We're going to be just training on the powerful lifetime effects of spinal hygiene and the benefits of teaching that to your patients. This is going to be an awesome training. Dr. Zaino is on here with me, so let me introduce him before I share my screen and share the slides. So what's up, my man?
What's up, guys? What's up, Dr. Tabor? Hey, everybody, what's going on? So I definitely wanted Tabor to come along, and I'm sure you've seen it, unless you've been hiding under a rock, all the cool things Tabor's been doing. He's been posting pictures. You're like, what's this block with this SHM thing on it? What's this new role? So, I wanted Tabor to really explain because, I think last time, Tabor, you kind of did the concepts of it, but now that you actually have the actual tangible entire system together, right? It's pretty much
Right.
all. This is something where now you could get to see the complete. So you guys were the first ones to hear about it months ago, and it really has been something Tabor's been on. I remember when we were discussing it. It's like you had PowerPoints from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's something that's been on Tabor's heart for years, and it's just so exciting to see it actually be a real thing. You got any of those things with you?
Let's see. Yeah, no.
Well,
I
maybe
just I have my
that's fine.
spinal molding rolls, but I still use the blue ones.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
getting rid of the original Tabors.
the
So
original Tabor rolls. That's right.
yeah, so this is something where it's just really exciting to see this. So you guys will enjoy it. You should see what Tabor. This is the value. Because remember, you're talking Tabor. This is not something just put together. We're talking about
Yeah.
I would probably say 5 to 7 years of content
Right.
he's been developing over years. So it's not something like if I was to try to put it together, I don't have 5 years.
Right.
So and you'll see it's really cool. All right, man, do your thing.
Awesome. Yeah, Dr. Zano's right. This is something that's actually building and been done, and that's what we'll train on today. Is things that are time tested and proven. So I'm going to share my screen with you here and pull the slide up, and I will show you the official.
Hey, that's not me, by the way. Even though, like, wouldn't you want to know if that was me, the back of the head?
Yeah, no, that's me. That's me.
I'm actually way bigger, but that's cool.
I'm actually way bigger.
And I don't have a. Does that dude have? Oh, he's got a freaking spinal hygiene tattoo.
Yes, he does, right there on his arm. That's pretty cool, right?
Dude,
Andrew White put that together.
yeah, that's great. He's great.
So here's the title, guys. This is what we're going to be training on today: how to increase retention. Like when everybody's out there talking about new patients, and we're going to talk about getting new patients, but we're going to be talking about lifetime wellness, lifetime retention, and that's what really builds what I call a strong practice. How to educate patients about lifetime spinal care and how to reach more people in your community all at the same time. And I know that sounds like a lot, but that is what we're going to cover in tonight's training. Now, I want to preface this by telling you I have a gift for all the people who make it to the end of this webinar. I'm going to share the story here in just a second. I'm going to show you what this is, but this is my initial care plan. This is something we started implementing about 4 to 6 months ago, and I'll share the reason why here in just a second. But this is my care plan. I will give you an editable version of this care plan and show you why it's so effective if you'll just stick with me. Stick with me to the end of this webinar, and it'll pay off big for you, okay? All right. Who will this webinar help? This webinar will help two types of chiropractors. Number one, if you're the chiropractor who are just starting out, maybe you haven't started yet, or maybe you're just starting and you're wanting to build your practice, this webinar will help you attract the right patients and build what I call a strong chiropractic office. Let me explain that. I had a friend who built a practice. He was doing about $600,000 to $800,000 a year, which is a pretty healthy practice if you ask me. And highly successful, but he had no retention. He had no wellness plan. He had no, like, it would be almost like people came in from the community, but it was like he would say, let's see you Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah, Tuesday and Thursday sounds good. Let's do that. And so his practice wasn't strong. And what happened was he got sick and he was out for a few weeks. And then he tried to come back and he just couldn't handle it. His body wasn't ready. He got sick again. He was out for a couple weeks, and he figured out he had to sell his practice. And guess what happened? He couldn't, because he had a weak practice. And by the time a few weeks went past, he had nobody on the schedule anymore. A practice that was making $600,000 a year, bringing in $600,000 a year, was just gone after a few weeks because he had no system. So this webinar will teach you and show you how, look, Dr. Zaino has one of the strongest practices you could possibly have. I mean, if you have, auto debit wellness patients, how many families do you have now, Dr. Zaino, on your lifetime wellness?
12 to 1400. It fluctuates up and down, but
that's
it's always
awesome.
consistently around there.
Right. And see, we have a couple hundred, but I still think that's awesome. Like, it's just like, that's a strong practice. If he doesn't show up to work tomorrow or does it for a few weeks, he gets a cover doctor, he sells his practice. People can't pay him enough money because you can't buy a practice like that. It's worth so much, right? That's the problem that you want to have. For the more experienced chiropractors, maybe you're already building that thriving practice right now and you're listening to this webinar. This will help you build even more value for your care plans. That can't hurt. Increasing conversions, create more lifetime patients in your office, and give you a strategy to even increase your per visit average and your collections. How awesome is that? My goal for you, my goal for this webinar is, look, if you're like me, the only way for you to be happy in your career, at least, let's say in our career, is to build a wellness-based practice and then grow that practice to what I call a decent size, right? You can't say, I'm going to hit this number, I'm going to hit that number. That might drive you crazy, but look, you want a decent sized practice and you want a wellness practice. The only way that you can do that is to start educating your patients about lifetime spinal care. That's bottom line. And the only way that you can educate your patients about lifetime spinal care is to teach them about spinal hygiene and how important it is for them to practice spinal hygiene on a regular basis. Now, a lot of people will say, starting off, boom, the first objection is already out there. People don't buy wellness. They only buy pain relief. Now, first of all, I have nothing against marketing for pain. Look, the reason I'm a chiropractor today was because I had debilitating back pain. I was a teenager. I could barely move. I could barely walk. I couldn't get into bed by myself. My parents actually had to lift my legs up and put them into bed for me at one point. I was on every medication you could think of, from anti-inflammatories to pain pills to muscle relaxers. I went to the emergency room several nights, and it wasn't until a chiropractor helped me with pain that it actually changed my life. So I have nothing against marketing for pain or getting people and helping them get out of pain. But you know what? I've been that patient, and I wanted wellness after that. I never wanted to be back in that position. I still never want to be back in that position where I was then. I chose right then and there so much. I wanted to take care of my spine for the rest of my life, so much so that I wanted to become a chiropractor to find out how I could take care of my spine for the rest of my life. And so I've been in the gym ever since that day. Every week I have not missed a visit to the gym because I felt like if I could just keep my body strong, if I could keep it healthy, I could prevent these types of things and I could live that wellness lifestyle. And look, our nation, our country needs it more right now than it's ever needed it in the history of the United States, of the world. 65 million Americans suffer from severe back pain every year. And you don't think those people want wellness? They absolutely want wellness. 85% of people have disc degeneration by the age of 50. 85%. $86 billion a year spent on back pain alone. The average spine surgery costs $100,000. Look, how many families could spend their entire life in your practice and not spend $100,000? They would save so much money. Research shows direct links between back pain, depression, and even suicide. So the stakes are high, ladies and gentlemen, and wellness is exactly what they want. So tonight, this is what we're going to be training on. This is the 3 core strategies for creating lifetime patients. Now, here's what I call them. I call them number 1, retention explosion. I'm going to show you how to increase retention in your office in one simple step. Easy. This is my biggest breakthrough, I believe, of my career as far as building retention goes in my office. We'll show you what I call shotgun education. This is very important as well, and how to automate and saturate the patient education in your office. And number 3, the third core strategy that we're going to cover tonight is accelerated acquisition or new patient acquisition. How to multiply the number of new patients you bring in every month without being salesy. And by the way, Dr. Zaino, I know I'm talking, I'm fired up, I get pumped up about this. So if you want to jump in at any moment, feel free. So
Well, I mean, I agree with all these things. Just looking back, um, those are the three things you need. You need to look at retention. The only way you get a retention is to have a certain type of educational system,
right.
and then how to multiply the number of new patients. So you need all those, because I always tell people, like, you can't get good result. A patient can't get good results unless they become a patient in your practice. And
Right.
so you can have those, and then they can't get lifetime results unless they've been a patient. So you need a new patient generator. You need to shift the paradigm, which is the education, and then you retain them, because again, a person doesn't really get chiro. They really don't get chiropractic, the benefits that we believe and we were raised in, with the 12, with a 12-week, 6-week, 6-visit plan. My patients now that have been with me 7 to 10 years, unreal. Like, they
Yeah.
really see what's going on. So yeah, this is right on, man. Keep it
Awesome.
going.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump right in to number one, retention explosion. And I want to tell you a story that I haven't even told Dr. Zaino this story, I don't think. But first, let me just show you what this initial care plan is. And then let me explain to you why it was so powerful and such an epiphany for me. Okay, so basically what you're looking at there is in the orange is what we do when the first patient comes in: detection and qualification, the exam, and then the requirements in our office. Now, right next to that, and kind of in the middle of the green, that's my corrective care plan in the green. And so it's part phase 1, symptom relief, part phase 2 is correction, stabilization. And then the lifestyle living over there in the blue, that's my wellness plan. Now, I actually modeled this out of a very popular weight loss company, the program that they use for their weight loss patients. And so I had a lady who's a patient in my office, and she wanted to do weight loss a program in my office for my patients. And I thought it was a good idea, because I certainly didn't want to spend the time and dedicate, all of it, the energy that it takes to put in a weight loss program in your office. And so, but I wanted to make sure I knew what she was teaching my patients. So I went with her to Austin to a big seminar that this weight loss program, and if I mentioned the name, you'd know who it was, but I'm not even going to throw out brands or names. But I went with her. So there's probably 800 practitioners in this conference, right? This weight loss conference. And this guy's up there pumping up the room. He's teaching about weight loss, and he tells them, do not accept a patient unless they first agree to wellness and maintenance care. And so I was like, what? And I'm thinking, like, that'd be like me not accepting a patient for corrective care if they don't first agree to wellness care after that. So he went on and explained himself. He said, look, if you help someone lose 100 pounds and then they quit your program and they gain 100 pounds back, were you successful? And I was like, Everybody's like, no. And he goes, in fact, not only were you not successful, but now they're going to go out and they're going to tell everyone that they tried your program. Yeah, they lost weight, but then they gained it all back, and it was a failure, and people will not come to your office anymore. So don't accept them for weight loss unless they agree and see your maintenance plan and agree for maintenance. I was like, oh my goodness, this was like blowing me away, because I didn't even tell my patient. I mean, I might have mentioned wellness in my doctor's report, but I didn't even tell them that I was going to present a wellness plan at the end of their care plan. So I would actually have people ask me, like, I'd be adjusting them. They'd be like, at the end of their corrective care plan, getting close to their re-x-ray, they'd be like, man, I'm going to miss you, doc, when I'm done with this. And in my mind, I'm going, well, I hope you stay for wellness care, but I haven't even mentioned it to you, right? Or they're going to say, or I had some people would get to the end, we're doing their x-rays, and they're like, what happens after this, doc? And I realized I'm not even telling them that I have a wellness plan after their corrective care plan. So I took that weight loss company's care plan and I sent it to a designer and had them change it and tweak it and build this to match my office corrective care plan and wellness plan. And look, I don't straight out tell them, like, I won't accept you for corrective care if you don't stay for wellness, but it's on there, and I show them exactly what it is. I say, this is my corrective care plan in the green. This is what we're focusing on right now. When we get to this phase, we're going to do a re-x-ray, and then this is my wellness plan. And most people start the wellness plan right after the corrective plan, because it's the best thing for you. It's the best thing to do. We're one of the offices, the rare offices that actually even offer wellness care. So you're in the right place, right? And now, instead of people asking me what's going to happen when they get to the end of the care, excuse me, when they get to the end of the care plan, people are actually saying, you know, doc, I think I'm going to start that wellness care when I get done. And we're not even done with the corrective care plan now. And so I truly believe if you want to explode retention, begin with the end in mind. That's the reason why Stephen Covey said that in his book. And put it in your initial care plan. And if you stick with me to the end of this webinar, I'll actually give you this initial care plan. And I'll give you this as a Word document that's fully editable. You can change the logo, you can change the name at the top, you can change your pricing plans, and you can change your whatever you need to change. So stick with me, that's a huge value. Awesome. So what I do is we present this in the initial care plan. Let's say they go all the way through their 36 visits. They get a re-x-ray, and then this is my re-exam financial. Piece of cake. This looks a lot like Dr. Zaino's. I do $140 a month for my wellness care. I think you do $167. Is that right, Dr. Zaino?
I think it's like 180 something now.
180 something?
Well, we go up, right? It's all semantics.
Awesome. Yeah, so pick whatever number you want, but this is it. I'll give you this too as well. If you wait to the end, I'll show you how to get it. Let's jump into number 2, man. This is important. Building retention. Once our patients accept that initial care plan, we need to make sure that we are giving them as much education in as many different areas as possible. So what we do is we define our message. Now look, I've studied some of the most successful chiropractors in this profession. I've trained with Dr. Zaino, probably the most successful chiropractor in the profession. And through the Practice Growth Strategies podcast that I do for Genesis, I've interviewed hundreds of very, very successful doctors. And I'll tell you, every single one of them, they hammer down their message. They know exactly what their message is going to be. And then they use different vehicles to deliver that message as many times as possible while those patients are with them. And so even when they're not with them. So watch this, email marketing. My patients are getting automated weekly emails that are telling them the exact same thing that I'm posting to social media. And then they're part of our social media. They're getting posts. They're getting information there. They're getting the exact same message that they're getting in my waiting room. And because I'm playing the waiting room DVDs, you need to have the right waiting room DVDs that share your philosophy and your message. That's why we have the home spinal care or the spinal hygiene waiting room DVD that we play in our office. Table Talk is another vehicle that we slam home. We shotgun this education through all these different vehicles. They're home instructions. If you're looking at the screen right there, you can see our home spinal care kits. Now, those kits have been shipped out to dozens of offices that are using them now. Those kits actually teach your patients about lifetime spinal care. So their home instructions are teaching them about lifetime spinal care. And so through all these vehicles, we automate and we saturate. So for email marketing, I use Aweber. It's a service that allows you to automate that weekly email. For social media, I use meetedgar.com that allows you to set up posts or Jason Deitch actually has a program that we have as well. I forget what it is, but you set up these automated triggers that keep you from having to work as hard, but also constantly shotgun this education to your patients over and over. And you need them to get that same message in their mind, in their head, in their ears as much as possible through while they're there. I hope that makes sense because I went over that quickly, but this is hugely valuable and it will build retention in your office if you'll just focus on making sure you have, number one, the right message and the right focus message. Number two is look at how many vehicles you can create that deliver that message as many times over when that patient is there, your workshops, your dinners, everything. All right, number three, accelerated patient acquisition. So we need new patients. I'm not saying we don't. We have to build as many lifetime patients as possible, but we want to keep that flow coming in because it takes stress off. So the number one secret to multiplying new patients, to exploding your marketing is this. It's not about selling. It's about giving. Look, if you have a system that allows you to give, think about it. The most successful people in the world are always trying to give you something. We're trying to give you something right now. Watch this. They try to give their quote unquote something of value to as many people as they possibly can. Dr. Zaino and I give over 200, I think it's probably more like 300, especially if you count DRs, presentations a year for free. Why? Because the more you actually can give, then the more new patients you'll get in. The hardest part is not marketing, like setting up some kind of writing copy or building a website, the hardest part is figuring out, how can I give more? What vehicles? How do I set up more talks? How can I have this valuable message? What can I build? What can I write? What blog can I write? What book can I write? What presentation can I give? Where can I get in front of people to give this valuable asset? And that's why we do advanced workshops. It's when I personally do 2 to 3 lunch and learns a month, at least, sometimes a week. Lunch and learns are a great way to be able to give. We actually cater lunch, so it costs me money to get in there and give them amazing information. But guess what? Always get a great return on investment, because I give, and then new patients come in and they sign up for care. So this is an extreme law of the universe. If you give as much as you possibly can, you're going to receive. Dr. Zaino, you're a hero, man. You've just been giving, and you can't outgive the universe. At some point you're already blessed, but you're going to be so blessed from just giving that you don't have to worry about marketing. You don't have to worry about being salesy. You just gave a lot, and now people are going to give back. You know what I mean?
It's favor capital. Favor capital, when you give like that, a lot of people think wow, it's costing me, and I'm giving, I'm getting nothing back. But you really are, you're not getting nothing's ever free. Remember that. So when you are giving, you're investing into what I call favor capital, which means that if I give and give and give, when it comes time to ask here and there, no one, we would have given so much value that my ask will never even come close to the value we've given. So you have nothing to ever feel bad about.
Love that. Exactly right. That's marketing. Marketing in today's day and age, especially for small business, is just giving. And I say the cooler, the more appealing things and message, and that's why we try to refine our presentations, is because not that we're changing the information, it's still hugely valuable. We're just trying to present it in such a way that people can actually grasp how valuable it is, right? So awesome. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think you could explode your practice if you and your staff could attend weekly group training sessions on the most efficient lifetime patient strategies and how to implement them? Do you think you could explode your practice if you had the best, most attractive patient education tools, products, strategies that are in our profession anywhere? And do you think you could explode your practice if you had step-by-step systems that get you in front of more people so that you can give more value in your community and then attract more new patients? These people have. Look, I want to encourage you to join the movement, the spinal hygiene movement. Here's just 3 doctors that have already joined the movement that we do weekly group coaching calls with, and they're using the kits in their offices. Dr. Chris D'Onofri says, I found Dr. Tabor online, watched several of his videos. He's an up-and-comer in the profession. Thank you, Dr. Chris. I was looking for an exercise program that patients could follow at home and really stick with. I think one of the hardest things in our profession is getting patients to be compliant with their home exercise programs. So far, I've got nothing but great feedback from our patients, and now we make it part of our care program for every new patient. Dr. Warren, he says, I believe that this is a very effective way to raise awareness about spinal health and spinal hygiene. We've seen it work with dentistry. He's exactly right. And now it's our turn to be able to reach out and help more people. Thank you, Dr. Tabor, for putting this together. And then Dr. Finstra, he says, we love the at-home kits. They are a great way to promote the idea of lifetime care to patients. Most people don't realize how important it is to take care of their spine for their whole life. And these kits, along with what you've done with spinal hygiene, is a great way to introduce that to them. So thanks, guys. Appreciate that. And so, look, I'd love to teach you everything that we go over in every weekly session that we do, and in the hours and hours worth of video in the members area. I'd love to teach all that to you tonight. There's just no way we could do that. There's no way we could cover all this training. So if it's okay with you, I want to ask you if I can spend 10 minutes going over a very special offer that we've created to help you create a bigger, more profitable practice and get greater number of lifetime patients. All right, so let me introduce the Spinal Hygiene Movement Doctors Only program. We do weekly coaching calls every Wednesday at 12:30. We did one today. Today was on actually was on spinal hygiene education. So we talked about the importance of that day 3, not only at day 3 scheduling them for the dinner, but also presenting their home care. Um, I value this at $5,200 a year, and I'm just putting my value at $100 an hour. So I would actually think I'm charged more than $100 an hour. But just if I said $100 an hour for 52 weeks a year, that would be over $5,200 a year worth of value. It's live group coaching sessions every Wednesday. What do we cover? Number one, spinal hygiene education. That's hugely important. And the way we present the core concepts of spinal hygiene. We want to make sure you and your staff, by the way, these doctors' staff attend the coaching calls as well. They're recorded. They're posted in the archive area. We have a private Facebook group that we go live in there on these trainings as well. We go over how to set up more talks, 4 ways to set up talks, how to give the best talks, how do we do our advanced workshops for spinal hygiene. We go over every aspect of the shotgun patient education process. In fact, the week before today, a week ago, we went over the process of getting new patients from Facebook, how we did the ads, how we created landing pages to get new patients to come to our lunch and learns that we do. So we can give. We have to make sure we have those vehicles so that we can give this information out. And there's much, much more that we go over every week in these calls with you and your staff. Plus, you get my one and only, I put everything in this program. And look, if you follow me on social media, you know I'm always posting pictures about lunch and learns that I do because we do lunch and learns every week. And so the reason I created and put this together and put it in the spinal hygiene movement program is because I want you to be able to get new patients. A lot of doctors tell me like retention is great, but I got to get new patients first. And I'm like, yeah, you do. You got to get in front of people. And so in this program, I put a little warning here. It says this program can explode your practice. All right. So watch out. We coach on how to set up talks, how to give talks, how to close talks. And so we'll cover my 8-step system of setting up lunch and learn talks in your community. I'll also show you 3 other ways to set up talks. One of them no one's ever even thought about. And you'll get presentation and closing training, so you'll know exactly what to say and what to do at your lunch and learns to maximize signups in your office. Okay. So far, that's the weekly group coaching calls every Wednesday, and they're recorded, don't worry. Lunch and Learn program, that's over $1,400 value. And so total, just so far, that's $6,697 worth of valuable information. But I want to also add this. This is important. A lot of doctors are like, look, I appreciate all that information. I'm totally behind the spinal hygiene movement, but I don't have time. I don't have time to take all of your information, all of your trainings that you're doing on Wednesdays and make a PowerPoint out of it. And then I have to build that PowerPoint, practice that presentation and give it. So I want to include the Spinal Hygiene Advanced Workshop Program. Now this, like Dr. Zaino said, look, I've been working on this for almost 6 years now, and it's been evolving. There's a lot of different PowerPoints that evolved over that time, teaching and training about spinal hygiene. And really it's boiled down to 3 different PowerPoints that you're gonna get for advanced workshops. One's with x-rays and one's without. And let me explain that. So I do corrective care in my office. We do before and after x-rays. And so all of my PowerPoints and my presentations revolved around a little bit of corrective care where we corrected before and after x-rays, but then also we're spinal hygiene after that, right? But we have a lot of offices. There's probably a lot of practitioners listening right now that you don't do x-rays. And so when they started to try to do my advanced workshops and they were like, look, you got all these before and after x-rays in here. They're great, but I don't do x-rays. So now my patients want x-rays after I do these presentations. So there's PowerPoints in here that have no x-rays that are just all about spinal hygiene, the spinal hygiene exercises, the importance of spinal hygiene. We go in depth talking about imbibition of the spine, why the spine degenerates, how you can prevent the spine from degenerate, why chiropractic is so important to maintain the health of the spine. And I just put this as a $497 value, but it's really priceless when you get in there because it's going to help you not only get new patients, but you're going to be able to build retention like crazy when people learn how important it is to implement spinal hygiene in their day-to-day life. So you'll get my spinal hygiene advanced talk PowerPoints and workshop training so you can set up in-office workshops and start teaching your patients the power of spinal hygiene. All right, what's that so far? Weekly group coaching calls, $5,200 a year. Lunch and Learn program, which That's my all-star program right there. You guys will love that. It'll help you explode your new patients. $1,497. Advanced workshop program where you get all my PowerPoints, even my before and after x-rays to use, and videos of me doing the presentations so that you can actually learn and see how they're done. Already a value of $7,194. But check this out. This is really cool. If you're a chiropractor on a mission, this is for you. The spinal hygiene in-school curriculum, this helps you get into schools and teach our young men and women that are boys and girls that are growing up not knowing anything about chiropractic unless it's a negative view of chiropractic, until they finally hurt so bad they have to go into your office. But what if we did what dentistry did? We got into schools and we taught a positive message of chiropractic, and we taught the message of spinal hygiene, that there's something they could do to take care of their spine on a daily basis, and they had fun with it. And that's why we have Atlas, the superhero for spinal hygiene for elementary schools, and we train on how to actually do fun class presentations for kids. And then we have the more advanced PowerPoints for upper classes as well. So junior high, high school, they're going to get anatomy, they're going to get understanding what subluxation is, and you can even use this as an advanced workshop, but we use it as an in-school curriculum. It's awesome. You'll get the spinal hygiene PowerPoints and workshop presentation and handouts. You can take it to any school, high school, junior high, or elementary. Start teaching our youth about the incredible importance of taking care of their spine and nervous system. Dentists did this with dental hygiene, and I think it's time that chiropractors start doing this with spinal hygiene. It starts with our kids, ladies and gentlemen. So look, weekly group coaching calls, lunch and learn program, advanced workshop program, and the spinal hygiene in-school curriculum for over $7,491. But check this out, Dr. Zaino's, this is Dr. Zaino's very own home corrective exercise program. And when you have an office the size of Dr. Zaino's, not only do you want great corrections, but you have to do it efficiently, okay? You can't sit there and spend hours teaching every person how to do every exercise at home. So we got together and we created the Posture Cure program. You get training videos, you get an exercise handout. That exercise handout you're seeing there is sweet. You print them off, you go to Kinko's, have them create folding booklets, and you can actually take, if you do like x-rays or if you do corrective care, even if you don't use x-rays, you can look on each one of those exercises and check them off, whichever ones you want your patients to do at home, and then you just hand them that book and they have everything they need, because they can go and log into the website and actually see videos that we high definition, great videos that we did on each one of those exercises. So you never have to spend time sitting there teaching them all these exercises. So this was awesome. Plus it comes with 12 posture studies. It's Dr. Zaino's very own corrective home recommendation system. Many people wonder how his team can see so many visits per week, over 2,000, and still practice corrective care. This program will show you how. You'll receive the exercise prescription handout to assist you and help you design custom exercises for your patients. It also comes with the 12 posture studies research handouts that can be given to your patients to add even more value. So here's what you're going to get: the weekly group coaching calls, the lunch and learn program. I know this keeps going. The advanced workshop program, the spinal hygiene in-school curriculum, and the Posture Cure program, which is worth way more than what I'm valuing at there. I guarantee you that. Almost $8,000 worth of information. Don't forget this. Look, if you don't have time, this is why I say shotgun your education, but create automated systems, because you don't have time to sit there and at every visit educate that patient about what they need to know. But they're sitting in your office for 10 minutes or for 5 minutes, however long, 20 minutes, whatever long they spend in your office, in your waiting room. They need to be getting this education. And this spinal hygiene DVD, waiting room DVD, is awesome. We can play it on a loop in our office. It's 43 minutes. It'll educate your patients for you. They'll love watching this animated DVD that covers the 4 main areas, the problem. So we talk about subluxation, the spine, dispelling the myths. Look, we go into this myths that you hear this all day long, every day. Oh, but isn't arthritis just caused by old age? We blow it away. What about if my dad had back pain, so I'm going to have back pain? The genetic myth, boom, blown away. It's all about chiropractic is the solution. And it also goes over their home spinal care procedures and how to do it here in this waiting room DVD. So your patients are going to learn valuable lifetime spinal care education while they wait. All this without adding 1 second to your already busy schedule. So weekly group coaching calls, lunch and learn program, advanced workshop program, spinal hygiene in-school curriculum, the posture cure program, the spinal hygiene DVD, over $8,000. And I know you're seeing like there's still a little bit of white space left there for number 7, aren't you? That's right. Now check this out. Again, we're talking about the time issue, that if you are on every coaching call and I teach you and I train you about the concepts of spinal hygiene, the alignment of the spine, the motion of the spine, the range of motion, the strength, the muscles, we cover all the core concepts of spinal hygiene, then you're like, oh, now I got to teach it to my staff, right? No, you don't. And you don't even have to wait for the coaching program, because I created this 7-video course over an hour's worth of content that walks you through. I titled this Spinal Degeneration, the Silent Epidemic, because we dive into the devastating effects of spinal degeneration and why it's so important that we educate our patients and exactly how to educate our patients. Look, even just that picture you're looking at there, that's where we talk about 96% of people develop spinal degeneration by the age of 80. 85% by the age of 50, 37% by the age of 20, and now in our society, because of wear and tear, stress, sedentary lifestyle, cell phones, computers, 9% of 10-year-olds have spinal degeneration. Their spines are rotting. All right. So look, if we don't do something, somebody's got to do something. The medical, medicine, physical therapy, somebody's got to do something eventually, because people's spines are literally rotting. And it's not as easy as giving them dentures like they did for teeth whenever we had this problem in dentistry back in the early 1900s and their teeth were rotting out. You're not going to get a fake spine, okay? No, we're going to have more sickness, more death, more suffering if we don't get out there and start teaching these powerful strategies and methods of spinal hygiene. And this training, that's why I valued it at almost $1,000, because it's everything that you need to know, and it's what your patients need to know, and it's what your staff needs to know. So watch this: weekly group coaching calls, lunch and learn program, advanced workshop program, spinal hygiene in-school curriculum, the posture cure program, spinal hygiene DVD, and the spinal hygiene training for worth over $9,000. And if all this program did was add 5 more new patients a month, right? If all it did was increase your conversions to lifetime care, or if all it did was create a culture of lifetime patients in your office, if all it did was relieve the stress that you feel to quote unquote educate your patients, if all it did was add value to the care that you already deliver in your office, would it be worth it? It'd be worth way more than $9,000. And what if you could create an environment of lifetime spinal wellness in your office? What if your patients understood that taking care of your spine on a regular basis was the key to living the life they desire? And what if you finally had a valuable, respectable, simple, effective way to educate your patients and community about lifetime spinal care? What would that be worth? Look, for all of this in the special webinar offer, I should be charging $1,000 a month. And for coaching programs, like $1,000 a month is nothing. You're going to pay $30,000 a year at least for most coaching programs. But this eventually will be at $997. We'll raise it to that. I'm not going to charge that now tonight, and especially not in this webinar. We're actually going to give you a big discount. Everything that we just covered for just $297 a month to be a member, a Spinal Hygiene Movement member, helping us share this message with millions of people across the country and across the world. $297 is nothing to the overhead of a chiropractic office, and it can help explode your practice. Over $9,000 worth of value for $297 a month. Just click below. You should see a big orange button that says, yes, let me in. For most of you, you're probably really curious. You already clicked that button, but go ahead now if you haven't and check it out. You could also go to spinalhygienedoctor.com/final page. We're going to leave this up, this offer up for the next 30 minutes. And I don't know, I know some people will be watching the replay. I don't know if we'll raise the price or take a bonus away or what we'll do, but I haven't thought about that. But for the next 30 minutes, look, just do it. Just take initiative, just implement, just click the button and look, you have 2 options. You could do nothing, okay? You don't have to. But with this information, if you do nothing, what are you going to get? Nothing. Or you can choose to take the leap. Just try it out. Give your office a chance to do something extraordinary. What do you have to lose? Well, I can answer that question. It's nothing. You have nothing to lose because you have 100% 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. If it's not for you, if you look at it tonight and it's not for you and you want your money back, you've got it. But even better than that, look, most coaching programs and most consulting companies, they're going to have you sign a contract where you're stuck in there for years. No contracts, cancel anytime. So try it the whole month. And there's nothing that's drip either. It's all available. Every program that we just went over is all yours as soon as you sign up for the program, and we start the coaching call next Wednesday for you and your staff. So it's all there for you. Just think about it. What's $297 compared to your entire office overhead? And just look what it could do to your practice. And even if it just does half of what I talked about, half of what I said on this webinar, it'll pay for itself over and over. Now, if you did click that orange button below, or you went to spinalhygienedoctor.com/final-page, if you did that, you went there, you probably scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see that there's actually 3 pricing options. Now, you could just do the $297 a month, try it out, cancel anytime, month to month, right? Or you could choose to save money, and I will actually pay you practically to commit, to give it some time to explode your practice, to sink into your patients. So if you commit to a quarterly payment, you'll actually save money. Instead of $297 a month, it'll be $597 a quarter. Or if you commit to a yearly, and I encourage you all to really, really commit to this and help us share this message, and commit to a year, which is $1597. You'll be saving a lot more. You'll get my commitment bonus that we'll give you here tonight as well. That's my spinal screening program, which is $497 value. You'll get the new patient retention system waiting room DVD, which is awesome. Dr. Zaino doing all of the presentations, teaching your patients about wellness and lifetime care. And then you'll also get the waiting room DVD, the bulletproof waiting room DVD, which in my opinion is one of the best waiting room DVDs in the world. It's Dan Sullivan going over the power of the chiropractic adjustment and Dr. Zaino's testimony that he gives on that high definition, well done, well recorded DVD, and you can play those in your waiting room. That's over $1,000 worth of added value. Basically, we're paying you $1,000 to save money and commit to either a quarterly commitment or a yearly commitment. You'll see that on the next page. Click the orange button below. So let me recap it one more time for you. Weekly group coaching calls for you and your staff, $5,200 a year worth of value. Lunch and Learn program, which is over $1,400 worth of value, which brings in dozens of new patients. We average about 60 new patients a month just from using these strategies. Advanced workshop program, which is worth $497. Spinal hygiene in-school curriculum helps you get in front of kids, help you do fun, interactive educational workshops, $297 value. The posture cure program, $497 value. The spinal hygiene DVD, $97 value. And the spinal hygiene training, everything you need to know about spinal degeneration, the silent epidemic, for only $297 a month. So click the orange button below or go to spinalhygienedoctor.com/final-page. I encourage you all to do that right now. Now, if you have been waiting on the webinar all just for that initial care plan, that editable copy that I'm going to give you, here's how you get it. But I want you all to know, if you sign up for this program tonight, just the $297 a month, you just try it out, you take the leap, or even the replay if you're watching and you sign up for this program, I'm going to make sure the first email that you get with all your access and the login has this editable copy of my initial care plan and the re-exam care plan, the re-exam financial sheet as well. So don't even worry about emailing me. If you purchase this and you sign up for this program, you're going to get it right off. I'll make sure that, and you'll also not only get the editable copies, you'll get coaching and all the support that you need to make sure that you implement it and your staff implements it properly. So I highly recommend you start this program tonight. You'll get access to everything and you'll start getting emails and communications from me and have access to me. So thank you for staying to the end. If you're somebody who this does not resonate, you don't want this, but you do want the editable copy of the care plan, you can send me an email at drtabor@live.com, and I will send you that as I said I would, because I do appreciate you staying to the end. All right. I know I've talked a lot, but I hope you got a lot out of it. And what I want to do is close out of here and see if there's any questions. And Dr. Zaino, did you stay with me as well?
Yeah, of course I'm here, bud.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that.
Good job, man. Very good. Super impressed.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
A lot of work went into that, man.
Yeah. Well,
I wish people realized all the work that did go into it. It's just a lot of, like, a lot of stuff behind
yeah.
the scenes, lots of late nights. So just take advantage of it. I don't even want to really say anything more. I don't really know if they have any questions. If they do, shoot them. I mean, not, shoot the questions out. You got
Yeah.
any?
Yep. No, actually, I must have done a really good job. I don't see any comments in the chat roll there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our program. Look, 45 minutes worth of training there, and we went over the program. And so for the next 30 minutes, we're going to keep that just the way it is. Just click the orange button below or go to spinalhygienedoctor.com/final-page and try it out. The offices that did are doing awesome, and we have dozens of chiropractors that join me every Wednesday for the training. I'm hoping we have a lot more as well, because I really think that this message could help not only the chiropractic profession, but here's the cool thing is, in order for us to help the chiropractic profession, guess what it's going to do? It's going to explode mine and your practices first. And that way, we can get it out to the masses, and then other chiropractors who aren't even doing this will begin to have reap benefits from all the hard work that we do. So thanks guys for staying on. I know there's a lot of y'all that stayed to the end, and I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Dr. Zaino, you want to close it out, or you have anything to say?
No, that was great. Everybody take full advantage of that, because of course, it won't stay there the same. And we're not just using it as a scarcity tactic. I think what we're definitely doing now, because you guys are wanting training, because I know the last year we've been giving you kind of Q&A, and then you're like, I know some of you said the Q&A was great, but you just kind of wanted some applicable things. So as we make these things for you, or combine the stuff that we had done already, and making more stuff for you, we give you guys the first chance of it, that are watching. And then you'll start to see Tabor, then he'll take this outside our group, so to speak, to the other chiros out there. And then, so we're giving you the first serve, first come, and then it goes up from there. So definitely take advantage. And like you said, it's you have nothing to lose.
You know what, Dr. Zaino? I just hadn't hit refresh on the so there are some questions here. So let me just go through these. I know we have an appointment at 9, so I'll just go through these real fast.
We got time.
So cool. Thanks, Dr. Tabor and Chris. You guys are awesome warriors for chiropractic. I've always done 12-month care plans, or over 20 years of practice, but I've been trying your 3-month care plan idea and really have found it better initial conversion, but not sure how the 3-month reconversion will be relative to my normal 12-month plans. I've heard you say that you use 3-month, 36-visit care plans initially to get them to the lifetime wellness plan sooner, but why not 6-month or 12-month care plans, which would commit them?
You want my honest answer?
Yeah.
I think and I totally appreciate and respect the practice he's had, but I can really say for certain that I've seen my practice, along with you, Tabor, you combine both of our practices together, and I believe we have a magnified 10x practice than most doctors out there, meaning that we see things happen 10 times faster because we have the volume, and we can really, that it is a test subject. It is like a test tube. And I could tell you that, if you just went to 3 months, I guarantee whoever wrote this email, 100%, look at your statistics, follow your people. You have less of those people that are still around your office at 6 months than you do at 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I agree.
That's why we do at 3 months, because more of them are there at 3 months. And I guarantee, listen, if you still have the people, here's the thing, and this is why, Tabor, it's so important to track stuff, because you have doctors telling me stuff like this, and I know they haven't tracked stuff, because what you don't track, you miss. And because I track everything, if in 12 months you still have more people there than you had at 3 months, let's say, or they're still there, then why your volume should be like 5,000 a year? It just would be insane. So 6 months, 3 to 6 months, there would be, even no matter how great you educate someone, the retention started going down. From 6 months to 12 months, it really started going down even more. So I used to do 1-year care plans. By the 1 year, there was a smaller percentage. So then when we went to 3 months, I believe, Tabor, I even might have I think you went 3 months first, didn't you?
Yeah.
So when we started going 3 months, then people were still excited, fresh, and they wanted. And see, the problem with when I did a year, they were like, "When's this thing going to end?" And 3 months was an easy goal to hit. Okay, I can make 3 months, right? So then I can now go on to wellness. So it created short-term goals, creating long-term effects. So just out of 12 years and 16,000 patients and having the highest retention in the profession, I pretty much, I do these things for a specific reason because I tracked it. Like when I tell you I tracked it, it was incredible how precise and how neurotic I was at tracking things. And I guarantee not many people were tracked it the way I did. Therefore, I was able to see variables and holes in the bucket that most wouldn't have. So it was almost torturous the way I track things. So we made the decision at 3 months, and then we applied exactly what Tabor talked about. We are a new patient generating machine. I could lead people in that office by just clicking my fingers and saying, follow me. 2, massive education, massive in the first 3 months to year. We just had advanced talks tonight, just great stuff. And then people are looking for a lifetime wellness plan right off the bat, because my end goal is always lifetime patients. So that's the way it is, and they enjoy it. And also going 3 months instead of 12 months or even 6 months, I was able to get them to lifetime quicker.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. And in order to have a higher conversion, you have to have more people that you're presenting it to. And they kept dropping off. So there was more people at 3 months than there was at 6 or 9 months. And so our conversions for wellness care went way up because of that fact. So
I believe it.
Awesome. So one more question here. Who does the coaching calls? You, Tabor? Yes. Adam, I do the coaching calls every Wednesday. We'll have Dr. Zaino as a guest coach coming up there. Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. We have an appointment at 9 here coming up real fast. So
Rick Sapio.
That's right. Thanks, everybody, for being on. Hit the orange button below and just try it out. Join it. You're going to love it. It's awesome. We go over some crazy, awesome information every Wednesday. And not only that, you'll get instant access to everything we talked about on this webinar. And so we can start sharing the message of spinal hygiene. It's hugely, hugely important that we do this with as many people as possible. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you all being on. Have a good one. We'll talk to you on the next one.
Thanks, guys. God bless.